everyone, it's July 24th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with English serial killer John George Haigh, known as the acid bath murderer who killed at least 6 victims in the 1940s, and that is him right over there. Haigh was born in 1909 in Lincolnshire, England, and was raised in a very religious family. He was a gifted pianist as a child, but had recurring nightmares of a religious theme. After leaving school at the age of 17 to become an apprentice to an auto mechanic, he ended up working in insurance, where he was fired for stealing from his employer at the age of 21. Haigh started his own auto repair business by forging documents to show his qualifications and got married at the age of 25, with his wife becoming pregnant immediately. But he was quickly caught, convicted, and sentenced to 15 months in prison, so his wife divorced him, gave up his daughter for adoption, and his family essentially kicked him out. After his release, he moved to London and became a chauffeur, then forged credentials as a solicitor and sold fraudulent shares of stock. He ended up back in prison for 4 years, and when released, got caught for theft, serving another 2 years. Haigh realized that having living victims of his crimes was a problem and decided to do something about that. In 1944, he ran into an old employer and the two went for a drink at the local pub, then went back to Haigh's workshop. Haigh bashed the man's head in with a wrench, then placed his body in a tub filled with acid. After a few days, the body was completely dissolved and he dumped the remaining sludge in the backyard. Unlike Jesse Pinkman, he didn't use a solvent that would react with the tub itself, so the body didn't come crashing through the floor. He went to see the man's parents and told them that their son had gone into hiding to avoid being called up for military service, and then assumed his victim's identity to gain legal control of his possessions, stealing 4,000 pounds, which was a hefty sum of money at the time. To keep up his ruse in 1945, Haigh murdered the parents as well, again disposing of their bodies by dissolving them in sulfuric acid and stealing 8,000 pounds from their estate. But as a gambler, he was running short of funds, and in 1947 he met an older couple during a real estate deal and rented a workshop near their home. In 1948, he invited them to his workshop one at a time, where he shot them in the head and dissolved their corpses in acid. Haigh stole their car, dog, and valuables, after which he ran into another elderly person with whom he was friendly. He invited her to the workshop, where he killed her and disposed of her body in order to steal her fur coat and jewelry. Friends of his victims asked Haigh if he had seen them, so he drove one of them to the police, hoping that would deflect suspicion. Scotland Yard soon discovered his criminal past and focused on him as a suspect. Under intense questioning, Haigh confessed to murder and told detectives, "I've destroyed her with acid. You'll find the sludge that remains at Leopold Road. Every trace has gone. How can you prove murder if there's no body?" He believed that without a body, he would at worst be sentenced to a psychiatric hospital, and then confessed his role in his earlier murders. An investigation of his workshop found numerous bloodstains at a hat pin belonging to one victim, as well as a full set of dentures and 2 gallstones. He was convicted of 6 murders, with the jury deliberating just 17 minutes, and was hanged in 1949 after being allowed to drink a glass of brandy. An agreement with Madame Tussauds Wax Museum was struck just before his death, where Haigh allowed them to make a mole of his death face and use his actual clothes for a wax statue, which remained on display until 2016. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone's birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to John George Haigh, I say, happy birthday.